Hello future tech leaders, I'm Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
And there we need to go and select the generic object. Generic object is nothing but the MDF object. MDF object is what this one which you are going and seeing all the MDF object. When you are going and selecting any of the MDF object, you will be finding a code here. This is the code. And the MDF object is also known as a generic object. When you want to map a generic object to a particular field, then in that case you will select the data type as a generic object. This one, I will show you how it will work. Then in that case we will go and select a generic object. Further, when you go and want to select MDF object, what is the purpose of MDF object? You are creating a field, but the value of that field, you want to get it from the foundation. For example, for the generic, I am creating legal entity as a field name. I want the value of that field should come from the legal entity. I will select as a generic object. But if I want the value of the field should come from the foundation, then I will select the foundation also. For foundation, where the value it is maintained. It is maintained in managed job structure. Right. All the record values are maintained in managed job structure. For foundation. For MDF or generic, where it is maintained. It is maintained in managed data. Managed data only, it is maintained. For all the legal entities, business unit. Right. In that case, we will be going and selecting. You are creating a field, but you want the drop-down values of that field should come from the generic object. It should come from that particular. It should take the values from the business unit or it should take the values from the department. Then in that case, we need to understand what is this business unit department. This is nothing but the generic object, MDF object. Right. Where is this? MDF and generic object is defined actually. It is defined in the configure object definition. Correct. Correct. Similarly, when you are going and selecting foundation, where these values it is being defined. Actually, the record is being created where? In managed job structure. Correct, but where it is defined? It is defined it in XML. Correct. When you are selecting that object, also we need to define the code. When you go here into the details, you can see you have an option here to select the foundation object or the generic object. When you are selecting a foundation object system, also want to know the code from where these values will be coming. If it is a foundation object, where is the foundation object defined? It is defined in the XML. When you want to get a value of a location, you should have a code of that location, where the code will be coming from the XML. Similarly, if you are selecting here as MDF object, that is generic object. Now you are mapping the data type as a generic object and you want to have the value of the generic object, then you also need to map the code. Valid value source, from which source the value is coming. Then in that case, we need to specify the code here. I will show you how we can able to go and create. That is about the generic object and the foundation object which we were discussing in the data type. Any other questions? So, there is no radio button. We usually have radio button option. Radio button option is not there in the data type. And coming to that, we have attachment also. If you want to have, if you are creating a field and the field should have an attachment option. When you create a field and when you see it in the front end, the field should have an option where somebody can able to go and attach a document. Then you can define that as the attachment for that particular. How that particular field will behave. This is about the data type which we were defining. And detail part. We have already seen that in the data type, whatever the data type which we are selecting, we also need to select the particular source wherever it is required. That is also one thing. And another thing is the field is mandatory or not. The visibility of the field. The length of the field. All these things we need to define here, and also the label of the field also need to define. That is also one thing. Rules section we will come up when we will discuss about the business rule. What is the purpose of the rule? This I am pausing for a while. But other than that, in the detail section, these are the important areas. Length of the field. And we are creating custom field. We need to specify the name and everything. And the label of the field. Data type. All these things is the important parameters which we need to look on when we are going and creating a field. That is one thing. Sequence of the field. You can see here. You can see the arrow here. This arrow specifies the sequence of the field. How it will come in a sequence. External code name description effective date. Same thing, it will be showing here also. The sequence. If you want to have a different sequence of the field, that can be also done with the help of this arrow. Got it. When you go into any field also. If you want to modify the label, the standard field. That is also possible. If I am going here. And if I am going and modifying something. The standard one. If I am taking something, for example, business area underscore ID. I am just adding something. And I am clicking on done here. And for the name also, let me go here. And for the name also I can able to go business area name. And I can specify the name. And here it is not a required field. And if I am selecting this also as a required field, I am clicking on Done. These two changes, I am doing it. And I am clicking on Save. Let me go and delete this. And I am just making the save here. It is saved. Once it is saved, I will just refresh it. Now you can see the change in the label also has changed. Can you see here? Underscore ID and here. And here it was not mandatory. But now it is coming mandatory also. That is one thing. Whenever you are doing some trials, make sure to make the system back to normal. What I have done, I have made some changes here. I will again go back to details. Go to the label here. And here it was underscored. I will just remove it. That is one thing. And second, in the name also, I have kept the required as. I have kept it also. I will remove it. Let me go and see if I can make this one not visible. I will save it. Now again, I will go and refresh it. Now you can see that is not visible. Can you see here? Business area name is not visible. Now again, if I go back into the take action, there it is. When I go into the visibility and I will take as the readable. Let me check if the system will allow us for the readable or not. And then I will just refresh it. When I go to make the action, you can see it is readable mode. It is not readable. Got how we are able to work on each area. Attributes. Any questions here? Again, I will go back into this. How it was there. I will make it back to normal. I am doing some trials. It is working successfully. I will go hub. And further what I will do. I want to create some custom field. Let's go and create a custom field. Business unit, right? Business unit. Let's name. Then head of the unit. Let's go and create something. I am adding some custom field. That is business unit, business area type. How I will go and create it? Let me go and create business area type. Make sure we should not have a gap here. Business area type. I am creating a business area type. I can give as a 32 carat. Go to the details. Business area type which I am creating, that is something as an ID. But the label, I need to define how it will look like. Business. Let's copy this. Default value. And click on here. And then I will click on done. Visibility. Let me check if it is editable. Yes, editable. And I can able to go and save it. After saving it, I will just refresh it. Let me check. Business area type. It is showing here. Can you see here? Business area type. Now this business area type, either you can give something as a manual value. That is also fine. But if your customer wants something, also should have some automatic value. Let's take some predefined values. For getting some predefined value, I need to go into a place that is called as a fitness center. I will go and discuss it in more detail. But let me go and create some fitness value. Let me see if I would have created something in my earlier class. Business type. Business area type. I have created something, it seems. What was the business area type? These are something. South Northwest. I have business area type which I created. What I can do? I have to do. I don't need to create anything. Already I have some predefined values. These are some predefined values. I need to do the mapping of this value. How I will do it the mapping of this value? I will go back here. I will go to the make collection. And I will go to the business area type which you can see here. Go to the details. Select the value that is pick list value. What is the value source? The code I need to copy. I need to go here. Just copy this code. And go to the object definition. Paste this code here. Doing the mapping. And just now you can see it has been changed to pick list. And we have copied the code also. And we can save it. It is just a confirmation. Please go ahead. Now we can able to go and refresh it. Now I will go to the Make collection. Let me check if I have some drop-down values. Business area type you can see. The drop-down values will be coming. Is it clear? This is something how we are creating a custom field and how we are adding a predefined value with the help of a pick list. Again, I will go back here and go to the Make collections. Scroll down and let me delete it. Now I will try to create another custom field and take another data type. I am taking something. Here as a, let me take as a division. I am taking something as a division. Let me take as a division area. I am taking. And I am taking here also as a 32 character. And this division area, I need to have the value we should come from. I need to have a value which should come from the generic object. Let me take the generic object here. When I am taking the generic object, I should again have a value for that. Valid value source. The code I should have from where I will get the code. Where division is a word. Division is also an MDF object. MDF object is also defined in where configure object definition. Correct? I can search division here. To get my code here. Correct. When I go and select, you can see the code is there. Naming convention is important because the characters, caps and everything is a case sensitive. I will copy this. I will go here. And I will paste it here. Finally, I am creating a custom field that is division area. But I want that it should take the generic object and for that generic object, which object code I need to take for the division. When I would take it for the division, what will happen? Whatever is the division in the managed data, whatever the records which we have created, that values will start populating. When I click on Done here, and when I click on Save, I have done something where I missed something. I created the division but I have not updated the label. That only, it is saying that it is violating. Go here and again go and save it. Oh sir. Division area, it will clear. Division area. Just a minute. Division area. I don't know why it is taking, but let me. I guess given the space. I should not give the space. While discussing, I missed that point. These are something case entities. I changed it, now again refreshing it. Now again, you can see division area. A new custom field. When I go into that field, the values are coming from where? From the division. When I duplicate this screen, if I want to, I guess refresh this. If I want to go and see the field here, suppose if I am selecting something as this one, division area, from where this field is coming. If I go here, from here, you can see the field is coming from here. 3200 shared service. This is the 3200 shared service. You can see here, you have an option here, new division. You can see, this is coming from here. How we have mapped it with the help of that particular code, which we have. For that, we have taken the code as this code we have taken and the data type which we have selected as a generic object. Here we have selected the data type as generic object. Any questions here? Is it clear how we can create and work on various custom fields under the MDFF object? Same thing. I have taken an example for a custom MDFF object and added some pick list values. Similarly, I also done for the generic object. You can try also for the foundation object. For the foundation object, suppose if I am taking the foundation object. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.